Hi, I'm Ryan LaPlante.
And I'm Tyler Hewitt.
And we are the crazy people who created both Garbage Town, the movie podcast, and Dum Dums and Dragons. And we are super excited to announce that we're starting a podcast production company called Garbage Productions.
So if you head over to patreon.com/Garbage Productions, you can actually subscribe for as little as $1, and you can get some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, you can actually help support the show and help us get made. For $1 a month, you get advance notice on all the upcoming movies on Garbage Town, so you can suffer through them yourself. You get advance notice on guests coming up on DD&D, so you have an idea of where that's headed, and you have access to our community and comments. For additional money, you get even more input, even more say, and you're even more a part of the shows.
We definitely want to hear from you, so go over there, check it out, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yeah, patreon.com/Garbage Productions. Become a garbage person with us.
Welcome back to Dum Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukaki, your host. Previously, our heroes, alongside the spider-loving druid Jakob Goodbark, were attacked by a green dragon. Barely driving it off, they believed their friend lost in the battle. Will they ever find their master tools? Will they ever save that idiot Gundren from the first episode? Find out next on Dum Dums and Dragons!
Let's check out the rest of this town cautiously, see if there's anything else going on, and then
Check it from outside the doors, right?
that kind of thing, yes.
By
Now that I'm not
Moonhammer.
glowing, I'm going to be a lot more stealthy.
Yeah, just to be clear, I wasn't just like pretending you were cursed.
Quinny's
after a
like,
certain point.
yeah.
Going to be a long journey to you finding your faith. All right, let's go.
On the eastern part of town, you can kind of see where the dragon cultists had set up. However, overnight they seem to have left.
Thank Moonhammer.
You get the sense that once they checked into the tower and realized the horde was gone, that the dragon too would never return, and thus they packed their bags and left. Basically, all of the buildings have, now that you know what to look for, you can see twig blights around them, you can see ash zombies in them, and it's the kind of thing where you could go into all of these places,
Right.
but the town looks pretty shitty. It didn't seem to be a rich metropolis previous to to the disaster. So generally speaking, you think it's probably best not to fuck around too much with any of these.
All right, well, let's finish these respective jobs we've got.
All right, so yeah, all we've got left to do is head back to Fallendale. We got all our crap. Farfenschlagen?
Try again, one more time.
Fringa!
There you go. Phandalin, I believe.
Fallifalin.
It is Phandalin.
Mellifluous.
So you load up your mule with the tools and everything else, and you head back to Phandalin. Your 3 days on the road are uneventful, though still slightly somber. You have a lot to sort over. Alyn, you've learned some valuable lessons about the nature of your power and its destructive capability, but also more importantly about how different live combat is from what you'd imagined. In the sheltered safety of your home. Though you don't regret your decision, you do realize it will be a harder life for you on the road.
I also didn't realize that humans could be capable of such brutality, and hearing about Butthole's past and where he came from is quite a revelation to me.
Butthole, despite your normal habits of training Goblin Jr., this particular ride, you're lost in your own thoughts and memories as the story of your tragic past plays out, and fears as to what it could mean fill your mind. And Quinny, you realize there are depths to your compatriots that perhaps you did not know, and find yourself in the odd position in your lifetime of actually still wanting to travel with them, despite realizing there's...
Damn it, Quinny.
Yeah,
You told yourself you wouldn't grow attached.
Starting to care about these people.
Yeah.
So you return to Phandalin without incident. So for your adventures in Thunder Tree and all the sort of assorted things you got up to, you can each take, I'll just round it up, 200 experience.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, so you arrive back in town.
All right, we'll split up the treasure chest evenly amongst us. Alyn can keep the spells. We'll hang on to the dwarven relic axe just as a general.
Right.
We'll see if the Rockseeker brothers
just
want
one
it.
spell, right?
There was Scroll of Misty Step and a Scroll of Lightning Bolt.
Okay.
Nice.
Lightning
so
bolt is good.
I'd say let's go to the blacksmith and get him started on that custom order now that we got this material. So we go to the blacksmiths.
The blacksmith is excited about his new tools. It's going to take him a few days to build everything for you. So he is building armor for Goblin Jr.
Yep. And I request for Goblin Jr.'s armor, could he put a symbol of a giant spider on its back in memory of Jakob?
Yep. He says, it's an odd request, but always up for a challenge.
And I want the symbol of Moonhammer on his little wolf helmet.
Whoa, he's getting armor. No one said anything about a helmet, but okay.
Well,
All
whatever,
right.
or on his collar, whatever the other.
Yeah, for sure.
From the front, you see Moonhammer. From the top, you see Giant Spider.
Yep, dig it. Quinny, he's working on a short sword for you.
An extraordinary short sword.
Hope so.
And you wanted plate mail.
Yeah, I want all that good gear.
And Alyn, you wanted a shield.
A shield, please.
So he takes your order. He's, he's super jazzed about those tools. That's really going to bump up his trade. So it'll take him a couple of days to get those ready for you. What do you do next? Do you want to go catch up with Sildar?
We've got Sister Grail. We got to go tell her about the Banshee, right?
Yeah.
You return to the shrine. Sister Grail's very excited to see you and to hear what news you have.
Literally, Alyn is the only one who really knows what went down. So,
Sister Grail, we met the Banshee. Her name was Agatha. She was a little scary. It was very trying, but I did find out about the spell book. And it turns out that Agatha had actually traded the spell book back to Cernoth 100 years ago.
Oh, the Necromancer. Yes. We've heard of him. Oh, this is great. So she's writing all this down.
In the town of Erebor.
Erebor. Oh, fantastic. That's all the information the Harpers will need to continue their quest. Thank you very much, Alyn, for discovering the truth of it and for dealing with that horrendous Banshee. By way of thanks, here, take these. And she gives you each a potion of healing.
Oh, thank you.
So I tuck mine in my back pocket, but I point at the other two and say, just make a note this is in the back pocket so you can use it if I get taken out. We'll just keep that as a, save the healer trump card.
Don't worry, Quinny is acutely aware of the healing potions he has on hand.
So with the order in and having reported back to Sister Grail, you make your way back to the Town Master's Hall.
I was going to say, before that, we should go return this mule. It's a rental. Technically, we're a day late because we slept 2 nights.
That's true.
You arrive at Barthen's Provisions to find Barthen around back, weeping with a small wooden cross that says Muley on it. And when he hears you, he turns and a giant grin splits across his face. He says, Muley! You brought Muley back! I thought you'd killed and eaten her by now.
No. Oh, you, bud.
He runs up and hugs the mule and goes back and just kicks over the cross. He seems real happy.
So we got all this stuff that we got some cups, we got some other business. Can we just sell you all this?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, very nice cups. Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Now, interesting fact. I remember how Quinny tried to spin this back when Prince Mudbutt was with us, so I'm going to go for a little extra coin using some charm. You may not know, but these 4 cups with the moonstones on them, they're actually from a green dragon's hoard that we took out of the village of Thunder Tree. These are incredibly rare, magical cups. Is there any way that, knowing their worth and knowing their background, that you could perhaps give us a little bit of extra on these? Persuade, I'm at 18 total.
Bartha normally deals in provisions for mining and other things, but he realizes that a lot of his clientele are also, being miners, are interested in finer things. So yeah, he thinks that seems like a reasonable deal. So he'll give you 10 extra gold per cup. So
nice. So we'll split that and we'll just say 10 each, and I'll put 10 for the dog, and that's easy.
He will, however, take 8 gold for the additional day rental.
From each of us?
No, just one person.
I'll get this one.
Quinny's in the middle of reaching
Thanks,
for his pouch. She's
Butthole.
like, oh, you're going to get it? Oh, well, I was going to, but okay. All right, yeah, thanks. I'll get you on the next one.
Of course you will. And then we'll go to the Town Master's Hall and see what the fuck's up with Sildar.
You enter the Town Master's Hall and find Sildar is increasingly concerned, and he expresses great concern over Gundren. Basically says, look, guys, Gundren's been missing now for several days, and if the tortures that I was put through by the goblins were any indication, he must surely now be on the verge of death. If you were to mount a rescue against the Cragmaw Castle, now would be the time.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, but we're getting some sweet armor and stuff in 3 days. Do you think we could buy 3 days?
I can't buy anything
Can
here.
you spare any manpower to assist the blacksmith?
He kind of glowers at the town master and says, I don't know, can we? And he kind of threateningly steps forward, and the town master's like, yes, of course. You get the sense that since the red brands have been run out, the town master is now kind of like the shitty sycophant who's stuck without the people he was sucking up to. And he's like, yeah, sure, I will just send some people right over. So yes, with the additional work, it will only take 1 day.
Let's stock up. And
let's
we'll
get ready
head out
to go as soon as that
That's
ship's
great.
ready.
Tomorrow.
It's going to still be hot in our hands.
Yeah, that's why I'm okay, so let's go to What's-Her-Face's Provisions and get this out of the way, because then everything we need to do in town will theoretically be done, and we can...
Guess I got to stock back up on some arrows, and that's about it.
Barthen didn't seem to have much we wanted to buy. We'll go to that
No, Lion Shield is...
Lion Shield. I will walk up to the door, And instead of kicking it open, I will open it and yell, "Imagine I kicked it!" And I'll say,
She goes, I always do.
"Hello, my friend." And I go up and I say, "We're adventurers who have some money to spend, and we might all die on a quest tomorrow. We've got new armor coming in, but what can you offer for those of us who might be storming a castle with only 3 people?"
Something like this.
Ah.
So one of the great joys of Dungeons & Dragons is handing players books full of numbers. So I've just handed Ryan the equipment list as well as the relevant pricing.
So rather than going through it kind of item by item, we'll give you totals and a rough idea of what we've got. And then
Sounds great.
Tom, you know where it's at. All right, so we're picking up a mule as well between the 3 of us. We're splitting that one.
Right.
I'm getting a bunch of stuff that could be used to like get into a castle. I'm buying, not just for myself, but I'm buying all of us climbers kits, grappling hooks, 200 feet of rope, like a lot of stuff that could help us get over a wall or get down or stay safe, all that kind of jazz.
Wow.
I already have that.
Well, I'm buying more.
Okay.
I'm buying 4. I don't know what you have. And then do you know what?
Buying 4.
I could always use more. Instead of having to go back to the places I've climbed and collect
Can
my
you carry all
pythons
this
and
stuff?
things.
We got a mule, yo.
Oh, yeah,
We're
we
buying a
got a
mule.
mule.
So I also, do you know what? If somebody else joins the party, maybe we'll have an extra. But I bought one for everybody. And 4 of us also includes Goblin Jr., so he has his own climber's kit. It's really, he
Cool.
spent some of his own money. I also
big
bought a
boy.
signal whistle so I could start practicing whistle calls with the dog in case my butt doesn't work. I bought 2 two-person tents, so we can all actually stay in tents instead of sleeping on the ground like animals. I bought 2 sets of manacles, just in case any prisoners are there. We can stop tying them up with rope like idiots.
Okay.
And then my grand total of what I spent was 334 gold pieces, so I have 5 left.
Okay, I just got a couple things like a healer's kit and a potion of healing, some rations, quiver and arrows, realizing I had a crossbow, but no arrows or
all right.
quiver to speak of, water skin, some silk rope, and a dagger.
Cool.
So that was 94, along with my share of the mule, 94 gold pieces and 17 silver pieces.
All right. Quinny bought a deck of playing cards. You may not know this, but I am proficient with playing cards, and I'm hoping to use my sleight of hand to just play.
Fleece some rubes.
Yeah, fleece some rubes. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I've also got some vials of acid. I got alchemist fire and some empty glass bottles to pour them into to essentially create Molotov cocktails. That all set me back 310 gold pieces.
How much do you have left? Not that we know this is characters, but I'm just curious.
Got 164 left.
Hey, it's clean enough. Is our armor getting delivered in the morning, or do we go pick it up at the end of the day today?
It'll be delivered to, it'll be waiting for you in your rooms at the Stonehill.
So I would say go rest up. Like we've earned it.
So you go to the inn. Quinny, you find waiting in your room a short sword +1.
Sweet.
Butthole, you find a fine suit of plate mail. They got the sense from how much you like putting Moonhammer on things. They built kind of like slots and things, so it'd be easy for you to affix your symbol yourself.
Nice.
Someone helps you do that. Alyn, you find a +1 shield.
Woohoo!
So normal shield gives you +2 to AC. This will give you +3 when you have it in hand. Perhaps most exciting of all, there is a beautiful set of wolfish armor, the best you've ever seen. It's a light, an almost imperceptibly light chainmail with a large plate over the back that has a large spider with each of its arms kind of spread across the back to make a nice big hardy piece of back armor. There's a little piece that goes over the head that just clips under the chin ever so gently. The crown has been worked into the design, so it's still there. And right on Goblin Jr.'s forehead, right where he needs it the most, is the sign of Moonhammer.
I'm so into this.
And off 2 of the spider's arms I guess off 4 in total, but off both sides there are little leather loops that hold tiny throwing hammers with the sign of Moonhammer already inscribed upon them.
Sick.
You get the sense those truly were a master set of tools.
Yeah, Goblin Jr. puts on his outfit, and he has to go outside and sit on the porch so people can see him for a bit. And then he comes back in.
He's got a bowl holster, too, on the back.
Nice. So I give him his bowl, so it's holstered, because now he's got it set up.
Yeah.
I'd
Snarf.
say we all sleep, we'll meet in the morning, and we'll head out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Quinny, if you want to take some time, I'd like to give Quinny the scroll for Misty Step and just kind of teach him, just walk him through that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
No
that.
prob.
Absolutely. So you spend the night preparing, teaching, learning, and tomorrow, finally, you shall go and seek the fate of the lost Gundren Rockseeker, and
Nice.
perhaps finally find the location of the Wave Echo Cavern.
And when we wake up, before we leave, we have breakfast together. We're all suited up in our sick new gear. And I turn to each of them and I say, this is a truly great battle we go into. As a mercenary, I know what it's like to storm a castle, and none of us may be coming back. So I have bought you some gifts to either stand alongside me or to remember me by. Alyn, you've got a quarterstaff, you've got a staff of defense, you have a lot of things, but all of them would constitute weapons that you might not be able to bring a lot of places, that you might not be able to hide on your person. So I have got you this arcane focus wand. Use it for spells when you need.
Oh, thanks.
Quinny, I got those crossbows for everybody before, and you couldn't use them. And I want you to be able to do sweet John Woo-style action sequences. So I got you 2 hand crossbows.
Oh, I think I'm proficient in hand crossbows.
You are. I remembered that.
Yeah.
So you now have 2 of them. So you can get like sick equilibrium-style shooty stuff, and it's going to be good.
It's called hand crossbow kata.
Yeah, hand crossbow kata. And then for both of you, knowing that I'll protect you to the best of my ability while we're there, but I may not be able to protect you for the rest of your lives, Moonhammer is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Discovering her, some people would say creating her, but she exists and her powers are real, so I also got you both these. And I take out 2 holy symbol reliquaries that I have, which I put on chains, and I gift them to them as necklaces. And I request that they wear them so that Moonhammer will watch over you even when I can't. And if you think Moonhammer is a figment of my imagination, I mean, A, you're wrong. But B, this is just a necklace to remember me by. Let it stand for your weird atheistic beliefs, all you please.
I put the necklace on, and I tuck it under my shirt. And I say, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. I'll keep it close to my heart.
And that touches me a lot.
Under my shirt.
Goblin Jr. has a single tear form, and it rolls down because this moment's so meaningful.
Thanks, Butthole.
And I nod, and I stand up in my sick plate mail, and then we can hit the road.
So you set out on the road on your way to the Cragmore Castle to finally try and save Gundren. Ryan, Gundren.
Listen, I know it, but the character doesn't.
So you start to head north. You're very happy to be loaded back up with your provisions. You've all recently acquired better weapons. Goblin Jr. looks great in his new spider armor. His tribute to Jakob is much appreciated by the world around him. So you travel north. You know that the Cragmore Castle is located sort of north of Phandalin in the woods ways. So you're able to travel to the edge of the woods without much trouble. And as you start to make your way through the woods, you can see kind of the ruins of a castle just a little bit further north. And as you make your way through, you've had to abandon you guys bought a mule, I believe?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So your mule's kind of just like, back at the, you secret your mule away inside the woods, but you're not going to like.
I love secreting my mule away.
Yeah. Just under like a mule tarp.
Shh, mule.
Ooh.
I look around at the other two and just go, hide that ass.
So yes, you hide that ass and start heading north.
Oh, if we do that, then I'll take the gear that we have. Like, we have a shitload of rope and, like, climbing kits and stuff like that. So I'll load up with all that junk.
Sure, great.
So I'm in my plate armor, but I'm covered in fucking rope. Like, it looks awkward. Like, I want one of those scenes where you see, like, the 2 of them walking carrying nothing, and I look like an overpacked butler in, like, a fancy hotel in a comedy about, like, some fancy lady bringing too many boxes.
Yeah, and then you gym take to the camera, and you're like, it's a living.
Yeah.
And can I just point out, because we haven't mentioned this before, that I did acquire a staff of defense from Glassstaff.
Yeah, we forgot that for a whole session.
Yeah, we kind of forgot that. So,
Forgot that or
my
didn't
quarters,
equip it.
my original quarterstaff with the mule and carrying on with Glassstaff.
Very nice.
Just so it wasn't like random magic.
Butthole, you are particularly loud coming through the woods with your overburdened pack, but also your plate mail. Much to the chagrin of Quinny, who of course is used to sneaking through the woods, and also
Rolling
to
my eyes.
a lesser extent, but also to a reasonable degree for you as well, Alyn, because as an adventurer, you're like, ooh, we can move quietly through. Oh, there's like this big lumbering dude coming up behind you.
Yeah, and I'm farting in exertion. Just every like 5 steps. Like, it's not quite rhythmic, but it's close. Like they're wondering if I'm trying to keep time, like on an old timey ship, or if it's just happening.
I'm just trying to keep a pace slightly in front of you.
The flatulent
Yeah,
metronome.
I'm trying not to walk behind you.
Oh, you're leading the way.
So as you make your way through, all of a sudden you hear from the bushes just ahead of you, "Quiet, you fools!" And you notice for the very first time that crouching in the bushes, very well hidden, is a massive orc with one eye, huge shield on his back, another shield strapped to his arm, and a long sword held in his scabbard. And he looks back at you and kind of like snarls. He seems a little pissed off you've been making so much noise. And that is how you meet
Lil Pim Pim.
So Lil Pim Pim quickly explains to you that he was once the leader of the band of goblins and orcs. The Cragmore tribe is built up of a bunch of different warring groups.
And as he gets to that point, I go, okay, this is going to be a speech. And I set down all the crap I'm carrying on the ground. And then I sit on it like I've made myself a chair.
Great. Does Goblin Jr. get a chair or just you?
Goblin Jr. just lays down. He's cool.
All right,
Before
fair
you go
enough.
further into that, can I just hear Lil Pim Pim deliver the line, "Quiet, you fools"?
Quiet, you fools.
Thank you, Lil Pim Pim.
So Lil Pim Pim used to be a fearsome orc warlord of one of the Cragmore tribe. He was known both for the soft, gentle tone of his voice and the fierce rage of his combat. However, he was betrayed by his lieutenant, who now calls himself King Groll, and has taken over the Cragmore tribe and now has installed himself at Cragmore Castle. So Lil Pim Pim has been on a quest for revenge and to reclaim his rightful seat as the leader of the Goblin Warband.
All right.
Awesome. I make myself like I take up some of the crap I've got with me, and I make like a little goblet, and I pour some water into it, and I sit back like a gangster in a movie in my plate mail, and I'm like, so it turns out we may have some shared interests, Little Pim Pim. Have you heard of the goddess Moonhammer?
Yeah, I Predator Altar a couple times. What of it?
I am so shocked. I immediately stand up and drop this whole "I'm a cool guy" act, and I just extend my hand to shake Little Pim Pim's hand, and I shake it for almost too long. Like it is so good to meet you, so good to meet you. Butthole Farch, cleric of Moonhammer, really excited. This is Goblin Jr. Goblin Jr. gets up. And he comes over and he bows to you, like puts his two front paws down, and then he
Like
gets
Lion
up.
King style.
Yeah, and he just goes snurf, snurf, and we're just fucking stoked. Like any way we can help you as a fellow follower of Moonhammer, we will assist you.
I look at your dog. I nod at your dog. I say, you bow to no one. Dog stands up, extends a paw. We shake hands. It's very honorable.
And I stand back like a proud parent watching their kid accept an award, and I'm just thinking he's killing it.
Quinny, you're still feeling, even though you and Butthole managed to kind of come to a bit of an understanding about his religion, you're still a little suspect about the whole Moonhammer thing.
Yes, I am.
Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Sure. 18. That's my total.
In spite of everything you know, you get the sense that Lil Pim Pim isn't lying.
Huh. That's all Quinny would have to say. Like, huh.
You realize that you've all sort of have the same purpose. Now, unfortunately, Lil Pim Pim, back when you were leading the warband, it wasn't in Cragmore Castle. You had a much better place. But during the fight where you were dethroned and lost your eye to the self-proclaimed King Groll, your beautiful, like, giant orcish keep was destroyed. So you don't know the lay of the land, but you've been tracking these guys for a little while, and you figured out that there's a way into the castle. You tell these guys that it's you've been kind of hiding out. Took you a while to track this guy down. You had to kind of chase him across the globe, but you're able to tell them that they've kind of repurposed an old human keep, and you've been kind of watching for patrols and stuff. And you get the sense that they're a little bit on high alert. They know that their friends, the Red Brand Gang, have just been destroyed by our heroes, and they're a little twitchy. But you're confident that the four of you can lead a proper attack.
What do we see when we look at Lil Pim Pim?
So he's a big, kind of built guy. He's gone mostly bald. He's got like the toilet seat of hair.
Yep.
around the head,
Doctor filling it.
but it's really like
Guys with that hairstyle
long.
love calling it the toilet seat.
I've never heard that before. That's really
That's
good.
incredibly apt,
Yeah.
though. I know exactly what you look like.
Yeah, a little bit like Bozo the Clown.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, he's got one eye. And
Does he have an eye patch or just a hole in the other one?
he's got an eye patch over the working one. He's got a great sense of direction. Heightens his other senses. He is wearing a repurposed pot for like a breastplate.
Like a cauldron?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cauldron. And
I'm so glad I asked this question.
Gosh.
and what was he wearing for pants? He's wearing just like a nice pair of jeans or something. It's
Little
like,
known fact: orcish fashion, very denim heavy.
Yeah, Gene and cauldron based.
yes.
I ask him, Lil Pim Pim, you were a former warlord, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I will refer to you as warlord. I will respect your station.
Thank you.
Now, warlord, the way you say we can get into this castle, is this like a climb? Are we going underground? Is it a door? What do we got?
It's got to be an underground pathway. And what's very challenging about this pathway is part of the route is through water.
So I just turn around and I take out a flagon of alcohol and I just start pouring it all over the rope and climbing tools we don't need. And then I light a torch and I just set fire to it mournfully. And I stand over it and repeat the same song we played when Jakob died in farts. So it's just like... Brr, 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 brr. Brr, 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 brr. And then I yell, 21 dog salute! And Goblin Jr. does 21 gunshot farts. And then I rejoin the group and say, well, I'm ready to go.
Great. Little Pim Pim, this is Butthole. Farting is like kind of a thing with him.
Oh, yes, Moonhammer. I mean, he knows as another member. I don't need to say
Yeah.
this here, but the goddess of joy, strength, and flatulence, the last thing consists of the first two.
Yep. I had gathered. So what y'all guys into? What's your deal?
Okay, so King Grohl, who's running the castle, that guy you don't like, he kidnapped a dwarf that we're looking for, Grundar.
Gundren?
Gundren.
I'm still sticking with Grunter. I think they're wrong. So we got to go rescue him from there. But also, he's working for this black spider, who apparently is a drow who's a real problem. So we just got to take him out of the equation. We got to find this black spider, and we got to take care of it.
We got to kill the spider?
Yes.
Well, you know what they always say, best way to kill a spider is with kindness. Is that what they say?
We hadn't thought of taking that approach yet.
Everybody, roll
maybe
me a wisdom check. So D20 and then add your wisdom.
16.
10 for me.
22 total.
Butthole, Little Pim Pim, and Alyn. Yes, that is absolutely what they say. Quinny, you're not sure. You hope so, but
I'm like, do you know what? I didn't expect this from a warlord. I'm impressed with your knowledge, you know?
Thank you.
All right. I'm just saying, I've been especially unkind, I think, through most of our adventures, and it's worked pretty well for me.
Well, I've read Lao Tzu's The Art of War, and I have some ideas of my own.
I love to imagine there's a chapter in The Art of War just about spiders.
In this world, in Neverwinter, almost guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm like, I've also read that when I was working with the Greywater Syndicate in my time as a mercenary. Wait, you're the Little Pim Pim?
That's right.
I've read your treatise on warfare. Guys, this guy is a celebrity. I like him.
Yeah, I'm a
Quinny
pretty
says
big deal.
again.
Seems like your friend is incredulous habitually. Is that something that I'd have to use my warrior skills to cure?
I think, yeah, if you could help him believe more things, that'd be great for all of us. Maybe not with violence.
I'm like, whoa, no, look.
He's really useful. I've seen him kill a lot of things. Like, if you want somebody who can take out a goblin, this is your guy.
Little Pim Pim picks up Quinny by the scruff of his neck and
Since I'm not an animal, that really hurts.
Quinny, do you want to roll me an acrobatics check to try and slip away?
Yeah, so that's 20.
And Little Pim Pim, can you?
That's a 20 total,
roll me
not a
an
20
athletics
total.
check,
Just total.
please.
Do I have to add it with?
Yep, add it with that.
4?
All right, so you successfully sneak out of Little Pim Pim's grasp.
Oh, you slippery little piece of crap.
Listen, Little Pim Pim, I think we're getting off to the wrong tone
Yeah,
here.
I'm about ready to, like...
I've stepped between, or no, actually, I gestured to Goblin Jr., who steps between Quinny and Little Pim Pim.
Just because I'm dog-sized does not mean you can just
No,
boss me around with your dog.
He's backing you up, but I'm like, Little Pim Pim, listen, we all want to deal with King Grohl right now. I feel like, do you remember chapter 3 of your novel?
The Art of War?
Yeah. Well, it was like a treatise on Lao Tzu's The Art of War.
Oh, yeah, chapter 3 of my book, where I talk about how the best meal on the go is just honey you find from a tree.
Yeah.
There were a ton of digressions in that book.
Yeah, you really got into the minutia of it. But the thing I want to point out is sometimes you make better allies with honey than you do with violence. And as a fellow,
kill me with kindness.
as a fellow member of the Church of Moonhammer, we know you've got to be happy and you've got to be strong, but sometimes you just got to fart. And sometimes a fart can be smelly, but a fart can be useful. And Quinny is like a fart.
Oh, fuck you, man.
Hey. Don't come down on farts. It's one of my 3 things. They're great. I just called you a holy item. It's a compliment. So why don't we all just work together and go steer swimming hole?
I would absolutely love that, but I propose a blood pact, orc style.
Does that involve killing each other, or what's a blood pact?
No. It's a real friendly thing. You just take this knife and then cut a little thing in your hand of blood, and then we all put our hands together and we say, "Go Junior Jays."
No, I like that. That's I speak orc, so I know Junior J's means honored friends.
Yep.
I immediately take the knife from him and cut my hand and put my hand in the middle, and then I lean down to Goblin Jr. and Goblin Jr.'s like, "Snarf, snarf," and he holds up a paw, and I put a look at it, and he holds it up. So we're ready. We got the 3 of us are in.
Oh, I'm in too. I'm very excited.
Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Mr.
Lil-
Pim Pim. I'm sorry.
I'm Little Pim Pim. I'm sorry.
Please, Mr. Pim Pim was my father.
Yeah, Mr. Pim Pim was my father. Call me Lil Pim Pim.
hey, little Pim Pim.
So we've all cut our hands. What about we're looking over at Quinny like expectantly?
Fuck yeah, all right. Quinny drags a dagger across his hand, and a little bit of blood comes
Don't
out.
drag it.
No,
Also,
Doesn't need
you
to
have
put a whole
advantage on your
turmeric.
own hand, so do you want to roll your sneak attack damage?
I surprise myself.
Well, I just assumed you'd be hiding because that's what you do.
That is what I do. Yeah, I drive the dagger through my hand. And this is just who I am now. Just a man with a
Like
knife in his
Assassin's
hand.
Creed, the dagger just shoots through your palm. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, god damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all put our hands in the middle and we say,
Go Junior
Jays.
and Goblin Jr. somehow, by combining his ability to say snarf and farting at different pitches, manages to say Junior J's. I don't understand it either, but it happens.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of linguistic similarities between Orcish and farts, so it works out, you know. I learned that from reading my Tolkien.
All right, so we're all ready to go. I turn to the rest of the group and just say, we should probably leave. I really started a big fire.
Can you, Little Pim Pim, can you roll me an insight check, please?
8.
You know military stuff. Roll. Can you roll me one as well, please?
22 total.
You realize you've set a giant fire that perhaps isn't the best way to sneak up on a castle, but as you're about to put it out, the two of you kind of remember an obscure chapter of The Art of War that reminds you that if you're about to sneak into a hidden tunnel, maybe creating a distraction outside not the worst thing in the world. It's from the chapter, if you're about to sneak into a secret tunnel, maybe creating a distraction outside is not the worst thing in the world. It's a very specific chapter of the
Sounds short, too.
book. Yeah,
So
title
I
covers
reach in and I take some of the wood bits that are on fire, but just a little bit, and I just start chucking them or into the trees nearby. Like I'm like,
Jakob
let's
would be
get it,
so
let's get
pissed.
it going.
And I use prestidigitation to turn them blue and spark.
Well,
Nice.
so they're just awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
so
fireworks.
And I just blow really hard on a fire to really stoke it the fuck up.
That fire is stoked.
Okay, so now I'm like, we should probably run.
Okay, cool. So, little Pim Pim, you lead them around to the sort of broken down sewer grate that you found that you know will
In the
lead
woods.
Well, you know they gotta vent the water out somewhere.
I believe it.
All right, gang. So here's the deal. We gotta squeeze down this little sewer grate and then just fucking walk. Just explore.
And sorry to clarify, Ryan, I don't mean like a sewer in the like a Ninja Turtle style.
That
sewer
was what I
grate.
was picturing.
Yeah, no, I mean like you walk up to like a sort of grated tunnel
Like
that.
a culvert kind of
yeah,
thing. Looks
yeah.
like that.
Great.
Could Quinny get through easily, or little
Yeah,
too small?
it's purely meant to filter water out,
Okay.
so you wouldn't be able to sneak through. But you guys could probably force the grate. You've got some.
Is it
strong
like
folks around.
full of water, or would we have room to
It's
breathe at the top?
For most of you, around chest height. For Quinny,
Okay.
it's
Great.
drowning height.
Quinny,
Who's
I'll carry you.
Who's gonna carry me like a baby?
I gotcha.
I grab Quinny by the scruff of the neck.
Quinny is resigned this time to just
Quinny
just
lets
be
it
like,
happen.
All right, fine. I don't want to drown. This hurts, but
So I lower Goblin Jr. into the water, but I want to see if he can swim with his armor on or if I have to take it off him.
He
Does
definitely
he float?
cannot swim with the armor on.
Okay, so I take Goblin Jr. and I go to almost take his armor off, and then I go, no, wait, I got this. And I pick him up and I put him around my head like a scarf. So he's got like feet on both sides. And his
scarf,
little
scarf?
head. Yeah, scarf.
oh,
And I say scarf, and he goes snarf, and we put him on, and then I'm ready to go.
I open up this little grate. I hand out some straws just in case the water gets a little bit deeper. And then I plunge Quinny in first. And yelling so loud at him over and over and over again. There's something about that guy that just really riles me up. And then I jump in.
So Quinny couldn't hear you say that because he was underwater.
yeah. I'm underwater screaming like, "What do you want from me?" But it comes out like,
Also, a lot of it is very incomprehensible, and it sounds like I'm starting to yell about my dad.
Mr. Pim Pim, the aforementioned Mr. Pim Pim.
Mr.
All right,
Pim Pim.
so I'm going to follow the Warlord because clearly he knows what's going on. Goblin Jr. and I both trust a fellow follower of Moonhammer.
I'm keeping an eye on Quinny's health status.
Appreciate that.
Just making sure that he's doing okay, because man, I'm fascinated. First interaction with an orc, like this is pretty cool, but also concerned for my friend, so I'm gonna follow warily.
All right, so we're traveling
So
into the culvert.
you start to wade through the water. It's very chilly, which doesn't bother most of you, but Butthole, since you're in plate mail, it's getting kind of cold.
I fart some warmth on myself. Make what's
This water.
inside outside.
As you go along, you think you're probably about halfway through, and the light starts to get very, very dim. A little Pim Pim, because you're an orc, you have dark sight with your one eye-patched eye, which I think probably means it's some kind of like daredevil hyper magic vision. So you kind of know what's up.
Now, just to be clear, though, are we talking current Daredevil, like Netflix, where it all sort of works, or are we talking Ben Affleck Daredevil, where the world's blue and CGI is smoky?
Oh, it was actually red because that's the daredevil color, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I will say really quickly about the Netflix Daredevil is that his senses are so heightened that it's basically that he just has accurate sight. That's his superpower at this point, is that he has accurate human
It's like
sight.
incredibly accurate sight.
It's not even like height, it's just sort of like, what color is that ice cream? Red or something like that. And it's like, great.
So I turn to the Warlord, and I say, it's getting pretty dark in here. Can you see?
I can see perfectly. I want y'all to keep behind me because there's a little bit of trouble coming up, and I'm the only one who can see it.
So just like in Au Noir, I step behind the Warlord, and I just put one hand on his left shoulder so I can follow him without having to light a torch, so it stays sneaky.
Smart.
I didn't really want to correct him, but I can see too.
So, Alyn,
I'm a little bit afraid of him.
I can't see anything.
you're being carried
Torrents
in
of
front
water
of
are
him.
gushing into my eyes and face.
Still keeping an eye on you, Quinny.
Okay, so Alyn, are you at the back of us if we're going in a line?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm behind you. I'm also just checking the rear every once in a while just to make sure we're not being followed
So
or
Alan's
we're
at
not
the
being
back.
ambushed by the
I'm in the
behind.
middle with Scarf Goblin Jr. Then we've got the Warlord who's holding Quinny out in front of him like a prow of a ship, water breaking for us.
The SS Quinny. The trouble that Lil Pim Pim and also Alyn could see ahead is that it looks like the tunnel is going to take a sort of a dip south, or south, like north is the sky. It's going to dip down, meaning the water level will rise to be above your heads.
Okay, so the moment I feel the water start to rise, I'm like, well, just hold up for a second. Lil Pim Pim, when you this seems to be getting deeper. How deep are we going, and how long are we going to be under?
It's going to be about 25 feet deep.
Oh shit!
For about 2 miles. Everybody have their straws? Already handed out?
Are we supposed to be able to float? You and I are in armor, and it's 2 miles of water.
Oh, yeah. Didn't think about that. But as I wrote about in chapter 5 of my book, all you got to do is just hope for the best.
I'm going to pray to Moonhammer about whether or not this is a good idea. 4 to 6? I trust he doesn't know what feet mean. 1 to 3, I'm going to refuse to go in this water. 6. That is a 6 total. I prayed to Moonhammer. She said, trust him. He really only means 5 feet. I'm ready to... I quietly steel myself, and then I take the armor off of Goblin Jr. just in case and put it in my backpack.
Alyn, you've done some extensive reading. Can you roll me a history check, please?
Totally. Oh, natural 20.
So lucky for all of you, Alyn, you've done your research on the area, and you know that there are no deep embedded bodies of water nearby, and thus it would be highly unlikely that there'd be a 25-foot deep chasm that you would fall into under a castle. Also, from your extensive reading of architecture, you seem like that would be a real bad thing to build a castle on if that were true. And you start to wonder if maybe Lil Pim Pim came as far as this and then turned back previously.
Right.
So I'm still taking the armor off of Goblin Jr., and I'm
Yeah.
like, guys, this is going to go so well.
But also, Lil Pim Pim, you are convinced that 100% this is true. This
Yeah.
is
And so I kind of tap Butthole on the shoulder in front of me because I have no idea how Lil Pim Pim is going to react to me questioning him, and I'm a little bit afraid.
Quinny's getting
So I relay to Butthole kind of what I know and what I think's going on, and that we're probably not in danger from the water, but we should be a little bit more careful because I think that Lil Pim Pim is a little overconfident.
Some of us are in
And
danger
might
from the
be-
water.
and might be just trying to win by numbers here instead of any actual strategy he has.
Okay, first of all, he's a warlord, so I think he knows strategy.
Damn it.
But he could be wrong about the water. I don't know if he knows distances that well. He's not a map maker. Am I right?
Okay.
And I say that, and Goblin Jr.'s like, snarf, snarf. And we're still whispering. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. And
Yeah,
I
the,
continue to take the armor off
the
of Goblin Jr.
character class map maker will be available in a later edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
Can I use sleight of hand to try and steal one of his shields?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's 10 for a total of 15.
And Lil Pim Pim, can you please roll me a perception check?
Natural 20.
All right, so so Quinny, you grab you're a little pissed off about this whole being repeatedly pseudo drowned and yelled at thing. You feel like perhaps Mr. Pim Pim had his reasons for raising Lil Pim Pim the way he did. You're not sure about all this yelling and ranting that you're hearing. It seems like very one-sided account of Lil Pim Pim's childhood. So you say, enough's enough. It's time to just score one for Quinny. So you go ahead and you grab the shield off his back. But Lil Pim Pim, if there's one thing it's how much a shield weighs.
Okay, so y'all want my shield then? Here, you can have it.
And Lil Pim Pim mightily throws the shield and Quinny further into the water. So we're going to test that 25-foot depth thing right now.
All right.
So, Quinny, you are thrust into darkness, realizing perhaps your thieving ways have finally come home to roost.
Can I interject really quickly?
Of course.
I hate you. I hate you so much, little Quinny. You're a terrible little piece of crap. You get your act together. You're an awful dad.
At last, our heroes have met an orc, and this one's got daddy issues. Will they be able to save the noble Gundren and return Lil Pim Pim to his throne? Will Butthole help Lil Pim Pim overcome the wounds left by his father? Will Quinny drown because he can't stop stealing from his friends? Listen on to find out. And if you like what you hear, you can follow us at DD&D Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. That's DD Podcast. You can also support the show and further our journey through our Patreon at patreon.com/garbageproductions or visit our website at garbageproductions.net. Not .com. Only an abusive orc dad uses a .com. We are garbageproductions.net. But more important than all that, tune in next time for another episode of Dum Dums and Dragons!